Namaste, everyone. As usual, we can begin with 3 ohms, but before that, let's bring the group consciousness within. So let's think of everybody who is here within us. And with that, let's begin with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. As usual, we begin with our chakra vibrations. And before that, the quick and normal disclaimer. Nobody new over here, but in any case, when you attend this session, you recognize you do so with the understanding you're responsible for your own well-being. Life in Yoga and I and others who lead the sessions don't take responsibility for the outcome of your attendance here. So let's begin. You all know how to make sure whatever you do is without any strain whatsoever. So keeping that in mind, let's begin the chakra vibrations. Bring your awareness to the perineum. And as you squeeze at the perineum, pressing on the little finger, we begin with LUM. Take a deep breath in. LUM. 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 Last time. LUM. Release the fingers and we continue with LUM. 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 Now bring the awareness an inch above the perineum behind the pubic area, and there we do WOM, pressing on the ring finger with the thumb. WOM. 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 One. 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 Release the fingers. Continue. One. 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 Last time. One. Bring the awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body. And as we draw in at the navel, we press on the middle finger with the thumb. And we draw in at the navel. Take a deep breath in. Ram. 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 Release the fingers. Continue. Ram. Ram. Now bring the awareness uh, behind the in between the chest, in the chest, in between the breasts, and there we do yum, pressing on the index finger. Yum. Yum. Release the fingers. Continue. Yum. 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 Now bring the awareness to the throat. And here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. 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 Release the hand. Continue. Hum. 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 Bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and there we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Chum. Chum. Release the hand. Continue. Chum. 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 Last time. Chum. Bring the awareness to the top of the middle of the head, and there we do Om, thumbs up, loose fist. Om. 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 Ooh. Release the hands. Continue. Oh. 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 Now we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama, the happy face breathing. And so those of you who know it, please begin. And just a reminder for everyone that today being Sunday, we have the extra half hour for any discussion. So if you have any questions, anything for discussion, please remember, we'll be there in the end of the session. So since there is nobody new, I'm not going to give specific instructions for Ujjayi, but if anybody wants one, please feel free to unmute and ask. So let's continue. As we continue, we can go on to the shoulder rotations. Inhale, lift up the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. And continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Bring the hands to the chest. And as we inhale, look up and stretch up. And as you exhale, bring the hands by the side and slowly bring it down. And continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Make a fist, bend at the wrist and bring it into the chest, chin down. And as you inhale, open out the palms and stretch out as you look up. And as you exhale, make the fist again and bring it in and continue. Last exhalation. Now, elbows in line with the shoulders, fist below the chin. Inhale, go around the wrist, open out the palms, and exhale, make the fist and bring it in again, and continue the ujjayi. Last exhalation, and then we go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can go on to the neck exercises. As you exhale, gently tilt the head, bringing one ear towards one shoulder. Inhale, come back. Exhale, tilt towards the other shoulder. Inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation, inhale, come back. Now we will do 360 degrees around the neck. Exhale, drop the chin down to the chest. Inhale, half a circle. And exhale, complete the circle. And continue. Last exhalation. And now let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now let's go on to Kapalbhati. After doing Kapalbhati for some time, we'll go on to the spinal alignment. And all of you know what it is, the quick exhalation that we do, but it has to be done without any strain. So you can keep your hand in your belly and you can go. Now we can do three Brahmaris, and after that we will go on to the spinal twist. Mm. Mm. Now we will, as we exhale, we do ah and turn to the right first, and then the same to the left and back. You know the routine. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale to the left. Ah. To the left. Ah. To the back. Ah. Chin to the chest. Mm. Second round. To the right. Ah. To the left. Ah. To the back. Ah. Chin to the chest. Mm. Third round, twice in each direction to the right. Second time. To the left. Second time. To the back. Second time. Chin to the chest. Mm. Second time. Mm. Last round, we will do again twice in each direction to the right. To the left. Second time. To the back. chin to the chest. Mm. Second time. Mm. Now we can cross one leg over the opposite thigh. And as we exhale, we will bring the knee towards the opposite shoulder as we turn the other side. And we do lum at the same time as we squeeze the perineum. So take a deep breath in. Lum. Second time. Lum. Third time. Lum. One last time. Lum. Now we can cross the other leg over. Lum. 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 One last time. Lum. Now we bring the awareness above the head, in the top of the head, and we do ah or om 3 times. Take a deep breath in. Now we can go on to our standing up and bending exercises. So those of you who have good balance, you can stand up and keep your feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other. And those of you who don't have good balance, you can remain seated and bring your hands bring your hands to your hips. And as you inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch towards the side where you're pushing. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, push on the other hand, and exhale, come forward. Continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now get hold of your elbows behind the back. Take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders and lift up the chin. And as you pull back, observe the stretch you feel from the tailbone all the way to the back of the head. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, keeping the chin up and shoulder pulled back, lean forward. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, release the hands and bring it towards the floor. If the hands don't touch the floor, bend your knees so that you can touch the floor. And then walk the hands forward so that you can stretch up the knee and you don't need to bend the knee. Then with each inhalation, lean forward into your hands. And with each exhalation, come back with the weight on the feet. Continue. Now, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, get hold of your ankles. And with the next deep breath in, as you exhale, twist to the left. With the next deep breath in, twist to the right as you exhale. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, pull on the ankles and pull down yourself, keeping the chin up. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, drop the head. And as you inhale, slowly come up and straighten yourself. And then we can bring our hands to the hips and we can go around the hips. Inhale half a circle, exhale, complete the circle and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Let's go reverse. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now we can continue. Take your seat and we will do the alternate nostril breathing. And then we will go on to the spinal mantra. Now we can go on to the spinal mantra once you finish exhalation through the left nostril. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim. Aim, Shim, Jim.
I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. I'm Shim Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jime, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jime, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck, to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jime, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam Haim I'm 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 Om. I'm Shim Jim Jam Ham 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 I'm Om.
Now we can go on to our 3 rounds of Bhastrika. Let's begin from the first round. Take a deep breath in, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2, inhale, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 17, exhale. 18, exhale. 19, exhale. 20, exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Let's go on to the second round. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 70, exhale. 80, exhale. 90, exhale. 20, exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Now we can go on to the last round of Bhastrika. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11, exhale. 12, exhale. 13, exhale. 14, exhale. 15, exhale. 16, exhale. 17, exhale. 18, exhale. 19, exhale. 20, exhale. Ujjayi Kumbhaka followed by Brahmari. Now we can get ready for meditation. Those of you who can feel your vitality in the belly, mentally lift up the vitality above the head. And those of you who don't feel it, or if you would like, you can mentally say, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. As you let go of everything, feel a lightness come onto your shoulders, maybe even in the head. And if you have a preferred method of meditation, you can do it. If not, visualize a rising vibration from the lower part of the sternum going through you and out of the top of the head. Visualize that flow as three syllables. Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om, Haim Em Om. You're only visualizing it, not vocalizing it. Just feel that, mentally observe that. And as you do that, we will have Om playing in the background. And if you prefer not to hear the sound, you can turn off your volume. Mentally affirm to yourself, I am not this body or the mind. I am the eternal spirit. And may the spirit guide the mind and body to fulfill the purpose for which it has been born. Visualize a downflow coming into you and become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. The senses given to us to fulfill the purpose for which we are born. And whenever you're ready to come out of meditation, raise your hands up and look straight into the palm of your hands. So with that, we end the practice session, so we have time for questions. So anybody who has anything, please go ahead and unmute yourself and speak up. Yes, go ahead.
What can I do for improving the memory?
Okay. Well, I'm not the right person to ask the question. First, people, there needs to be some diagnosis as to why you're losing your memory. And so have you spoken to your doctor about it?
Yeah, I have spoken, and then she take this thing, that thing, but that's what she told. But it is not helping me. I took some medicine for improving the medicine, but it's not working.
See, the thing is, there are two kinds of element: weakening nervous system and what you would call as deeper level of it that results in dementia and things like that. That's essentially related to how the brain functions. So let me ask you another question. Are you on any blood pressure medication?
No.
You're not on any blood pressure medication. You're not on any medication whatsoever, right?
No, I do have some medication for, say, like frequent urination, like that, but not other things,
So you're only on one medication?
One medication, and then some diabetes, so metformin, that's all.
Oh, okay. That I understand. So for how long have you been having the diabetes medication?
Diabetes, I just started about 6 months ago. Before I was normal, but it became, my A1C became 6.5, so he said, you have diabetes. That.
Well, continuing your yoga, isn't this session helping you?
Yeah, I do every day, and at 4:30 Eastern time, and there I do meditation also. But it's my meditation is also good, very good happening. But my memory is again it's not improving.
So okay. But the memory of course, you remember to tune in every day at 4:30, so you're not forgetting to come in. So which means your memory is still not so bad. So the thing is, what kind of thing are you talking about that you're losing your memory?
See, I see somebody, I know him, but I don't know his name, and then somebody tells me my name is Gopal, and then after 5-10 minutes, I forget,
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. I'm in the same club with you, so it's part of life. So that's fine. So, Manjula Kumar, you had your hand up. You had a question. Go ahead.
Yes. Dr. Rajan, firstly, on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you so much We're all learning so much, and especially in these dark, cold evenings. So thank you. My one comment, the AI exercises, which we do very seldom, are very beneficial. So if we could do it on a more regular basis, at least it's a request. I don't know about the others.
We will
So-
do it. Definitely, I'll plan on doing it once a week. I wanted to do it on the weekend, and it slipped my mind. And the other thing I want to do is when we do the eye exercise, there is a way to do Trataka exercise even with over the Zoom. So that has a different dimension to it. So we'll do both of it on weekends, but tomorrow we'll do once.
we use our eyes constantly, from the moment we get up, and at least I forget to do the exercises that really help the vision and focus. But my other question, I think, and more comment, Bhambari, I have a problem. Maybe I'm not doing it properly, so that when I do it, after that, I kind of feel heady. And maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yes, actually, let's see where you're making the sound from. When you do the sound, no, don't close this thing. When you do do that for me once.
Mm.
Okay, again, please.
Mm.
Why is your lips going like this?
Oh, so I should not.
No, do it like me.
Okay, without closing the lips, just.
There you go. Continue. Do you feel any discomfort in the head?
Not now, not right now. But when I tend to close, do you just kind of really close your?
Actually, don't worry about closing all of that except the ear. Close
Oh.
the ear and do the same way you did.
Okay, I'll try that. I don't want to take
No,
up any.
try it now.
So don't do the rest.
Yeah. No, again went off. You went off. Again, your lips go. The
Okay.
moment you do that, you're creating stress in the system.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It has to be related to smooth, easy. That
Okay.
is the difference.
Okay, I'll try it. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Okay. Now, if somebody else has a question, go ahead.
Dr. Narayan, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Yeah.
Can you one more time explain nadis, 3 nadis?
What nadis?
Sushumna nadi, pran nadi, and another nadi.
Okay.
Nadis.
Sure, certainly. Anybody else has any other questions?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
One more question regarding spinal twist. I just put a message also just in case.
Okay, I saw that. Yeah.
You want- So regarding spinal twist, when we are doing twice, between the R's, what are we supposed to do? Breathe in and breathe out?
That's right. Breathe in and breathe out.
And then do the R again? That's
Exactly.
the only.
So you can only do ah when you have taken a breath in and when you're exhaling.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So now, yes, Meena, go ahead.
Namaste, Rajanji.
Namaste.
When we chant Om, you do in different pitches, slowly and sometimes a higher thing. And what is the significance?
See, the thing is basically there are ways in which you can describe the significance, but the real description of the significance have no meaning. The reason they have no meaning is finally how you experience it is what matters. Okay? People can say this happens, that happens, who cares? If it doesn't happen to you, it means nothing. So the thing is, what happens is when you focus within and do it, there are certain qualities that are associated with how your nadi clears. Okay? When the nadi is clearer, the Om will be longer and smoother. It'll be easy flowing. And so you just watch yourself how it feels, and that will take care of it. And of course, people will talk about, Bhur Bhuvaswa. They will talk about 3 levels connecting and all of that. That's interesting, but not relevant, because how you feel is what matters.
How smooth it is, we have to find it out.
No, just keep doing the Om. What feels right for you is suited for you.
Okay.
Right?
Right. Thank you, Rajanji. One more question. When you do that pelvic bend, you say you bend your knees, and if you cannot bend your knees, if you cannot keep your knees straight, you just bend and walk your hand and then get straight. I'm not able to just I have to bend my knees only. Is it okay?
That is fine. The thing is, you see, what happens is when you're able to take your hand a little more forward, instead of being like bending like this, you become like a V shape.
Yeah.
So in that V shape, you're able to have more, you don't have to bend your knees as much. Yeah, for most people for whom, if you're trying to bring your hand onto the floor and only the tip is touching, if you walk a little forward, you can straighten your knee and have your palms on the floor fully. But whatever works for you is right for you.
Okay.
It is fine.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. So Prabha, you want to ask a question? Go ahead, and then I will go to the Nadi question.
Yeah, I have problem doing the meditation. I fall asleep.
Yes, good idea.
Why is that?
Okay.
I don't want to.
No. I understand. You see, what happens is meditation induces a deep relaxation. And for anybody who is not having enough deep relaxation within, when there is tiredness, automatically you fall asleep. And in fact, what happens is that really tells you, you see, meditation is supposed to work at 4 levels. The first level is relaxation, calming yourself. And what happens is, the moment you're relaxed, first the bodily needs of the body get addressed first. Only then we proceed further. So the thing is, it is very normal for people to fall asleep while doing meditation. That is the first step of deep relaxation. The second step is when without falling asleep, the mind gets relaxed and the mind tunes out. And then the next step is when out of that fully mind tuned out and the body does not have awareness, but you have not fallen asleep. If somebody calls you or something, you will hear. Then you get into that state. From that state, a certain connectivity comes and with the higher domain, and that is what is called samadhi, when that connectivity happens. And then, of course, from there, if you have any questions in the mind, when the intuition comes, that is the 4th level. So this process whereby it happens, falling asleep is not a bad idea at all. In fact, what is very interesting is, in some views of yoga, like for example, in the Hatha Yoga school, you see, if you fall asleep, if you tune out and you go into that space, they consider that itself, they consider as samadhi quite wrongly. That is why the Hatha Yoga text cannot be treated as an authority on yoga. Because the Patanjali Yoga Sutras clearly distinguishes all the 4 levels, right? Yeah. So, but then falling asleep is a very good indicator that you're having the deep relaxation that yoga is supposed to induce.
Okay, good.
So in that context, Dr. Rajan, what stage is Yoga Nidra? Is it in the 3rd stage or?
The Yoga Nidra falls between the 2nd and 3rd stage.
Okay.
In the
Thank you.
sense, what happens is you don't fall asleep, but you're aware. But in that awareness, you're able to experience within and be non-reactive. So that is where the Yoga Nidra falls in. Okay, so coming now to Malti Poddar's question about the three main nadis. Actually, when I speak about the three main nadis, I have to talk about all the nadis. I cannot just talk about them, so that it has to be in the context of how we function. The way we function as human beings, of course, we relate to this body and the mind and who you are. But there is a spiritual entity that is there with us all the time, and that is beyond the body. In fact, the mind is not in the body. The mind can function only because there is this body and our awareness, but the mind is outside the body. And the spirit is even beyond. So the mind and spirit being outside the body, there is a way in which the connection, all of that happens. How the connection and communication happens from outside the body into the mind, inside the body, and the various functionality of the organs, this is where all the communications come in yoga. So the first requirement in yoga is, if there is no vitality, no prana flowing, the body is dead. So there is no body, right? So if there is no body, there are many of the other communications that nourishes all our functionalities have no meaning. Okay? So the first most important element when the body is there is the regulation of the vitality. And what is the regulation of the vitality? We call it as the prananadi or the mukhya prananadi, and this along the spine. And of course, from a conventional medicine perspective, you look at a certain aspect of it, which is the brain and the spine, which is the central nervous system. And from a modern medicine perspective, if the person is brain dead, then in which case the person is considered dead, right? So essentially, it is that regulation of the vitality that happens. Now, the understanding of yoga is a little bit bigger than modern medicine. So what is the root source whereby the brain becomes dead or alive, right? What is the controller of that? That is the higher dimension of the prananadi, mukhya prananadi. And that relates to how the electromagnetism in the system is impacted and how it connects into the higher domain. So that is the higher aspect of the prananadi. But the role of the prananadi is regulation of the vitality in the system, right? And vitality from a modern medicine perspective is cellular respiration, the breathing, the brain controlling the heart rate and the breathing rate, whereby you are able to provide enough oxygen for cellular respiration for all parts of the body. That's how you look at it. From a yoga perspective, we say the outcome of the cellular respiration is what is the real vitality for us. What do we mean by the outcome? The outcome of the cellular respiration is it basically creates all the ionic exchanges that happen in the body with cellular respiration that is happening. It creates a magnetic field for the body. So the biomagnetism for us is the real prana, how we understand from a yoga perspective. Okay. So now let's look at the second. And now once there is prana, all the other communications can function. So what is the most important communication that the prana enables is our connection into our cosmic spirit that is outside the body. That connection into the cosmic spirit is what is called Udana Vayu, or that is connecting to the Atmanadi. That is the connection beyond. That runs along the front of the body, curves over the forehead, and it connects to the middle of the head. And that is also our source of our immunity, and that is what we do in deep sleep. The third nadi, the important nadi, is the middle of the body that we call as the Sushumna nadi. The Sushumna nadi is the outcome, Along that, the energy or the communication that flows is called samana vayu. And what is the samana vayu's nature? You have your inner being, that is your, you can think of it as your genes or the purpose of your spirit. And then you have the demands of the external world that are coming. And the external world coming includes also those that are coming in your mind and your hunger and all of that. That's all coming from this thing that you have to deal with. So anything you have to deal with is part of what you have to function with the external. Yeah. So what you deal with is that plus the what your inner being is. When they combine together, the outcome is the samana vayu flow along the Sushumna Nadi. So that is why we consider it as similar to gene expression. The genes, your inner dimension, and the epigenetic factors stimulating how the genes are going to respond. And when both of them respond together, it becomes the gene expression. Then the samana vayu is flowing along the middle of the body where all the chakras are. Out of the chakras are all the other nadis that flow to control the fluids in the body as well as the tissues, the matter tissues in the body, that is the muscle tissues and all of that. So the two types of communication that are going from each of the chakras. And by the way, it is the gene expression that results in all the other functionalities of the body, right? So the gene expression resulting in all the functionalities of the body, out of the chakras, the communications that are flowing, those are called the apana vayu, the controlling the physical elements, and the fluid elements are being controlled by the vyana vayu. And so this becomes the 5-level structure of the nadis and the vayus. Nadis are the pathways, the vayus are the communication.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, namaste and see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll do the eye exercises.
Tomorrow is Christmas.
For us, every day is yoga practice day. There is no distinction whether it is Diwali or Christmas. So see
No,
you.
I just said.
Merry Christmas.
So please have a happy Christmas. We don't say Merry Christmas. People become merry when they consume alcohol. So have a happy